Hello and welcome back to my channel. My channel name is Spiritual-Gypsy Tarot. I do tarot readings. Today's reading, this is the Significator card. It's got a German Shepherd on it and some daisies or chamomile and the number 18. It is just a message that you need to know right now. I do one pile. The crystal that came out for this reading is this beautiful yellow pointy crystal. I'm not sure what this one is called right now. I'm still learning crystals, but it's the one that came out when I was gathering them. I have the oracle pre-prepared and I'm going to do this tarot deck. I will have to preview the deck to make sure the cards that come out are safe for YouTube or social media of any kind, because some of them do have some nudity, so we will keep that hidden. So this is the Significator card. I'm going to do things a little bit different today. I'm going to read the story for the Significator card. I decided, if I could get my words in here, I decided that I was going to start kind of explaining what I see a little bit more. I read intuitively and through my gifts, but I know some people like to try to read along, and it's hard to explain the energy sometimes, but I'm going to try to now do that as I have grown a little bit. We have Pearl with Authenticity. So this deck here is Herbs and Plants Oracle. And then this is a woman's archetype deck, this Pearl Authenticity. Now, it does not have to mean that you are a woman. It's a feminine energy, yin energy here. We have the Dive into the Fire 45. Kind of have a phoenix here. Lots of red. Strong red presence here. Along with, so far, feminine energy. So there's some yin energy going on. Alright, pardon me. I like to create as much space as I can. This here is a yoga deck for yoga, meditation type things. Purpose: above all other interests and attractions, let your highest priority be the nurturance of your soul. So there's some more red, very red inclined, which is not surprising considering the Lionsgate portal that is coming up. We have this deck, which is the Wisdom of Trees Oracle with Horse Chestnut. Bear with me here. I'm trying to create space as I go. I know I will have to pile on top because I have limited space. This one is like places, and it's got affirmations with it. My backyard. Home is where I make it. I can find sanctuary every day. Alright. I know that is not in view. I will try my best to keep everything in view as I go here. Okay, we have Sextile with a combination of tension and flow, potential and awarding situation. That really gives me some Saturn energy, because Saturn, while is very structural and challenging, teaches us to have patience and how to work hard for the things that we desire. And I believe Saturn is still in retrograde. I could be wrong. Feel free to let me know if I'm wrong right now. Okay, and then we'll put that one there. Okay, you can still see most of it. Okay, and then we have 3 of this card, I just shuffle and Spirit, sorry, I got a little battery warning. I just shuffle and Spirit tells me what cards need to come out of how many of each deck. I always intend for just one, but I listen when Spirit tells me. So we have Dandelion with Wounded Healer in 53. We have some Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken, energy. There's the Sagittarius symbol here. Dandelions are actually a plant associated with Sagittarius. So this would be your Chiron in your birth chart. So some luck in your Chiron if you have the wherever your wound is. That could be what this is referring to, but we'll get more information. We have Gutu Kola, I'm probably saying that wrong, with Higher Consciousness and 17. And then we have Nettle with Action and 21. This has Mars and Pluto. So transformation and change through action, perhaps. Okay, so I'm going to start before I do Oracle card, or before I do tarot cards, reading the story with the Significator card, which is number 18. Which is this one, which is Il Canine in Spanish, but it'll also be in English. I'm probably saying that wrong, I apologize. The dog. It means loyalty and fidelity. In short, a sincere friend who will support us on every occasion, help and protection, a person to look to with confidence. The dog Argos, who dies on seeing Odysseus, is one example. With some cards, it means isolation and infidelity, but it generally has a positive meaning. It also suggests new acquaintances and fruitful encounters. The picture portrays joy of living, playing games, and peace of mind. Daisy, romantic flowers of girls in love who pick off its petals to resolve their romantic pains, but it is also a flower of spring and youth. Its real name is Bellis perennis, that is forever beautiful. The flower was dedicated to the Norse goddess Freya, and in Greece to the goddess Artemis. They are simple flowers that open in the morning and close their corollas, I'm probably saying that wrong, in the evening. They are a source of joy, and as such, the Celts used to scatter them on the graves of children to console their souls. Okay, and that is this deck that it is from, in case you were wondering, for that Significator card of number 18. Okay, so what I'm getting from just the Oracle and from that story is this is a message from your shadow or your feminine energy, or your subconscious, however you want to see it. Everybody sees it differently. Giving you some information of how to use the current energy to help you. With this, we have that combination of tension and flow, but there's potential for a reward. So that's where that wounded healer comes in, because it's a point of pain for us, but it is also a point of triumph or success, or a key to unlocking ascension for us. For a lot of people, that's fear. For some people, it's inaction. So if you can think of a Pisces person, right? Or water. Indecision, right, is something that some people tend to struggle with when they're debating feelings versus thoughts. I feel this way, I think that way, and in the midst of debating which one is correct, you don't make a decision at all. And so this pile is linking to, right now, doing action regardless of the fear. To kind of just do without over analyzing it, and just authentically doing what you would want to do without deeply analyzing it, being true to yourself and your authenticity and what you would actually do with this dive into the fire, dive into the movement. Everything in the 3D is actually moving. The 2D is where we stop with the slower moving energies. Once we get into the 3D, that's where all that energy combines from higher plateaus and lower plateaus. So there's always energy moving, right? And it is saying to let that action help you grow and learn from the action. I'm also getting something I learned today, actually, which who knew it was going to be relevant to the reading I was doing, about survival mode. A lot of us are in survival mode, which means that we hope for the best but prepare for the worst. But in doing so, you are setting yourself up energetically for hoping for something to turn out right, but knowing that it might not. So you're constantly waiting for that pin to drop. And that is the survival mode that a lot of us need to break out of in this cycle. Instead of just hoping for the best, knowing that you in your present moment are going to have the best. Knowing that regardless of the challenges that you have, that you can live the best life that you can possible by doing the actions required of you to do so. That doesn't mean that bad things won't happen, because that's the lesson that our past tells us, that we cannot prevent bad things from happening. Worrying about them only makes them more likely, or makes our fears come true, or we create those fears. Or that anxiety stops us from enjoying life. So this message is kind of twofold in saying that you're going to want to use your fear as a way of breaking free from a wound that you have. But it's also saying that the action is simply the opposite of inaction, because we also know that the two opposites, the two extremes, are the same. Hot and cold, yin and yang, super extremes are at black and white, the duality, right? So in this instance, it's saying the opposite of the inaction is any kind of action versus not doing it all. So deep dive into the action. If you feel inclined to go take a walk at 3 o'clock in the morning, I hope you're at a safe neighborhood, or just do it around your house, okay? You can go up and down the stairs and through all the rooms. Whatever you're doing, it's saying just do it and don't overanalyze it. It's saying do the interests and things that attract you and nurture your soul in the present. And nurture wherever you feel stable. You do not have to define your stability and what makes you happy by the standards of other people. That is another thing as a collective that we do. We base what our happiness and our standards for a good relationship, or our standards for a good life or a stable home, based on what everyone else thinks, right? That's the whole generational conflict between the older and the younger, right? They were like, you work, you have a house, you have land, you have this. But we're starting to see that it's not where you are, it's what you're doing, right? And so it's saying connect with that higher consciousness and know that you are abundant regardless of where you are. And then I also want to look into this horse chestnut before I pull the tarot cards, but that is so far what we're getting from just the oracle. I'm going to find where that's at first. And then while I'm looking for that, it's green. The green is reading, is talking heart chakras, and your heart chakra is where you're supposed to center yourself. There's green over here, so center yourself in the joy of the moment. Be enthusiastic and passionate about the moment. Love the moment. Be here for the now. So this is that water chestnut, and it is upright. Or I'm sorry, horse chestnut. I don't know why I said water. And then I'm just going to read this part here. Something is puzzling you. Hold it up to the light of careful thought and do not be too much of a hurry to solve the conundrum. Sometimes the answer is slow to arrive, so do your best to be patient. So kind of be patient in just letting things come to you. So enjoying the moment and knowing that whatever it is that you're manifesting is just going to be drawn and attracted to you. That just enjoying the moment, being in the moment, meditating, dancing, singing, being blissful and celebrating the moment is enough to attract what you're manifesting to you. You don't have to do a whole bunch of extra work beyond that. Now, there is circumstances where some people have to do shadow work and things like that, but in this instance, source or spirit or however you see it is telling you that you just need to let it come to you. So we have the 6 of shells here with nurturing. We have the 6 of lotus with oneness. So this deck is based on the 5 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, and spirit. So the lotus is based in spirit. Sorry. The only reason I'm shuffling off camera is because some of these are inappropriate. I'm going to start with 4, and then if, I'm sorry about that, moving the camera. And then if we have further questions, once we get in there. Okay. And then we have 5 of stones with attunement. Okay. So, to further go from what we've been seeing with the oracle, nurturing your feelings, because your feelings are a sense of power. So if you feel like taking a random adventure at 3 o'clock in the morning to drive to the beach, your feelings is a source of power, and following your feelings and understanding what they are telling you on a deep level is going to be a connection for you to draw in and nurture that abundance to you, nurture what you are attracting, nurture your inner child in yourself. A lot of us grew up with love being conditional in the sense of either we had to be what our parents or society wanted us to be, we had to fit in a certain mold, or our actions had to be a certain way. And we need to break free from that and know that we are worthy of unconditional love, and our feelings will tell us what we need to heal. There's also 2 6s here. So if the number of 6, if 6 is significant for you, I'm also going to pull up what 6 means spiritually, because there's more than one. And then the 6 of lotus here with oneness is letting you know that you are worthy unconditional love here, nurturing yourself, nurturing those feelings, understanding what they want and what they're telling you will help you see how deeply connected you are with the universe, how your heart and the center of the earth is one, how your blood and the elements that flow through you are connected to the earth's crust and mantle. To let you know that you are the universe and the universe is you, and we are all one. So in the power that your emotions give you and learning what those emotions are telling you is going to help connect you deeply to that protection and grounding you in that love from the universe, that unconditional love that some of us never experienced, or experienced in a way that others were only capable of because they didn't know it either. Please keep in mind that sometimes trauma comes down the family line. So you can't necessarily point fingers. You want to know that more than one thing can be true at the same time. Your parents could love you unconditionally in the way that makes sense to them, and it still not be as unconditional as you can love yourself or as the universe can love you. So know that because we shape our reality and our thoughts are what we perceive as correct. So with as many people as there are that many points of view and perceptions. With this here is saying, so as you learn what your emotions are telling you and you start doing what they're telling you in the moment, enjoying the moment, being blissed, being in the action of now, and connecting with your power in the universe and your connection to the universe is going to allow you to freely connect more with spirit and your higher self. Even though this is the element of feathers, the connection with air, so this would be the King of Swords in the traditional pack, I want to point out that you have all the elements here. You're grounded in earth, you're connected to your feelings, and you're able to flow, okay? So that's what this is leading up to, and it's going to lead you up to being attuned, okay? You have 4 directions here. So you have your heart, this is your mind center, but your heart is also a center. So your heart is your center, and where you center yourself, but then you have other directions. There are actually 7 directions. There's north, south, east, west, into Mother Earth's center, and up through the upper channels and gateways, and then your heart center. So this is telling you that if you start to listen to what your feelings are telling you and your connection to the universe, and listening to what your heart says, not your mind versus your emotions. I'm saying the feelings of the lower vibration of I feel. No, you want to listen to what your heart is saying. Is going to help you connect with your power of the universe and help you be in touch with all of those elements and understand what the information is coming to you, and it's going to help change your attunement to higher frequencies, okay? Because 5 is the number of change. I'm going to go grab my book about what numbers mean to go about the 6 before I continue. So please forgive me, some of you are not going to be happy about the fact that I write in my book. But this is a book that I use to, every time I read, when I do my own tarot readings, which is hard to do when you're a reader to do your own, I see something new that I want to note on for the next time to help when I am in a shadow and not able to do my own reading. So I don't have any intention of giving it to anyone else, this book. So anytime I use this book and you see stuff written in it and it angers you, if you are that type of book person, I apologize in advance. There is not that on this page. Okay, so 6. 6 is positioned at the center of the tree of life and radiates out in all directions. It represents harmony, love, and beauty. The 6 is the number of the lovers and is considered the mother-father number. The 6-pointed star, Merkab, or Star of David, is comprised of an upward pointing triangle representing the male aspect and a downward pointing triangle representing the female aspect. The two triangles form a perfect star representing equilibrium, balance, and harmony. 6 deals with relationships, service, and compassion. With the energy of love comes beauty and grace. 6 is also the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3. Making it a very productive number with the energy of the prime numbers. 6 brings health and prosperity. So that 6 is what that's bringing you. I see that as like it's bringing that love to you that you need, and it's going to also bring that harmony within yourself. So that's what those 6s mean. Before we finish up here, I'm going to pull a couple more tarot cards for just advice. I feel like the message was pretty clear today, but you never know if Spirit has extra advice. Before I do that, I would like to say if you enjoyed the reading or if you didn't, leave a comment one way or the other. As I am growing my talent, I am open to constructive criticism of any kind. Feel free to like or dislike the video. Feel free to follow if you would like to join me as I grow. I don't post as regularly as I would like to because I am a mom and I am stay-at-home mom. I hope to grow that as he is now a toddler. I do have a TikTok and other social media accounts that I try to post on also regularly. Otherwise, thank you for joining me, and let's finish your reading. So the last question we're going to ask is just if Spirit has any additional advice to go with this reading today. Feel these two. Let me check them, make sure they're appropriate. Okay, they are. And then we have the Secret of Fire. Look at that, more fire. So learning and seeking on how to alchemize the fire element, which is movement, the 3D, learning more about the third dimension, and what that is going to teach you. Also, if you know anything about, I think it's Tai Chi, I could be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, to where like once you alchemize the energy, dragon is one of those higher poses there. So it's also learning that you are energy, that everything is energy and everything happens energetically first. So really learning what that energy and that movement is. For example, if you have a goal that you have in mind, when you meditate on that on an energetic level first. Commit to it with your intention energetically, and then go do it. I'm not saying to do that balancing act of should I do it or should I do it, not the indecisiveness. I'm saying if it's a big goal, like losing weight, give the intention of I'm releasing the blockages that have prevented me from doing that thus far, and then set the intention that from here on out I'm going to love myself correctly by doing the things that I need to do for my health, and then start doing it, backing up your action with, or the intention with the action, because things happen energetically first. And then you have the Four of Lotus with crystallization. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and I'll tell you why. Because it talks about when you are fully in tune, right, as a vessel, when you are healed and you are one with spirit, and you are a full vessel, okay? You've done your shadow work, you're healing, you're constantly doing the things you are supposed to do. Your solar plexus turns into clear quartz, hard clear quartz. So the energy comes in from source and reflects out to you. That's how you raise the vibration of other people, just by raising your vibration, because things happen energetically. So people in the collective conscious who don't do the work can still elevate to a certain extent through you doing the process and things you need to be doing. It's also, I think, very funny because it talks about, in Frozen 2, you hear that, ice is the fifth element. So I just think it's funny here because you have the water down here, right? The emotion comes in, crystallizes, what it is telling you, and then down. So it's like you are no longer your emotions are no longer in control of you. Because over here, where you're learning what your emotions are telling you and you're nurturing yourself, they're kind of flowing around chaotically. But here, there's a feeling comes in, it goes out through your crystal, your clear quartz. It helps crystallize it, it helps clarify it, and then it just dissipates. You understand what you need to do from it. So the additional advice is to learn to alchemize that action. Learning the alchemy of the third dimension and action is your task, and what can help you get started here, and knowing that it eventually is going to lead to that clarity of what that emotion is telling you, and being able to just act. One emotion, clarity, act. Alright, and that is what I see. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I am a small channel, so I should be able to answer them.